I think definitely multidimensional.
Life-changing.
I think contemporary.
Mind this teamwork. I think
It might sound cliche, but enlightening.
Dynamic.
I've never taken a course like this at Columbia, and I'm really sad that it's over. I'm sad that there's no equivalence as I continue on in my advancement towards finishing the core. It's a beast all of its own, but it still embodies the ideals behind what the core has always been for Columbia. It just brings it to the 21st century. I felt that it was much easier to relate what we were reading and studying to our everyday lives because of the work we were doing and because of the way class ran, where we had, special time set up for actually commenting and discussing current events and how they related to what we were doing.
We were able to connect what we learn in class to things outside of class, and sticking by the book isn't necessarily bad, but I think that using alternative resources such as making movies or watching videos or reading articles, it all complements and forces you to think outside of the box and relate it to outside experiences. So I think that it was definitely a nice experience and one that I would love to see in future courses.
It helps us relate students to how we can treat those texts in the 21st century and how we can relate a lot better with them. We incorporate technology, news sources, and different, just vast amount of resources into shooting the core. So that helps us bring to life the themes and topics that we discuss normally in the text.
I think it's just being able to see the link between the real world and what we've been learning. Because as an econ major, I'm quite a pragmatic person. I think of how the materials that I've been learning, how I can translate that into skills in the real world. And I think this class definitely eliminated my doubt about humanities.
The list of texts and films I can now incorporate into my life after this, probably to a more personal level than if I had just read the text and kind of discussed them a little bit.
And also beyond that, being able to talk to real New Yorkers outside of students, kind of people that have lived there for a significant amount of time, getting their perspectives, that was really valuable. And I think that what I really liked about this class was really bringing in the human experience, current human experience, into the class through the current events articles and also through the film screenings we had.
And just like what Mark says, I don't want to just be philosophizing. I do want to be able to change the world, and I think this was a great first step into experiencing that.
I'm so glad I fought to get into this class. There was a long, long line of students that wanted to get into this course. I feel that my peers and I were able to collectively decide that the core is still relevant and still needed. And we haven't gotten that from any other core class. It feels like an ancient history class, a lot of the other ones, where it has its use, it's beautiful, but it doesn't feel relevant today. And this one has accomplished both. So when we're given the opportunity in a class for a grade to leave campus and do something productive and explore the city, I can't think of a better winning combination.
For the first time, I actually didn't felt pressure to absorb all the information and instead focus on digesting what we had in front of us and relating that to myself. So how does that affect me as an individual, which in the end I think is the purpose of the core curriculum. It's not only about understanding these great authors that we've always had, but actually relating that to our environment, how we can actually apply that to other disciplines, which is exactly what I've done. I recommend it to everyone. Because it truly is a section where you learn not because you're forced to learn, but because you're encouraged, which I think is how education should work, not only at Columbia, but everywhere.